Thank you for coming to Artsy Wisdom. This is Diane. I do tarot cards, astrology, hypnotherapy. I'm a life coach, and I have other divination tools like paper crumpling, and I talk to God and Moses and all of the above. I've picked 3 piles, and this reading will be for about finding love. So I want you to study these piles. There isn't a pile yet. I'm going to pull the cards. But once I do, you pick the spider, passion flower. Let's see if I can get it in camera here. I love these cards. Or the hawk and thistle. Or the antelope and wheat. So we have an earth animal, a bird, and an insect. And then this guy is about nourishment, the wheat. Okay, pick one of your favorites or whichever one you're drawn to choose, and I will be right back to start. Okay, those of you who chose the spider and the passion flower, we used to have a passion flower vine in our backyard. Really unique flowers. So this is about the first pile. What is the issue that I can't find love? What do I need to know? Let's see here. I'm going to pick these 4 and one more. The owl and the hop. I'm sorry, my camera keeps moving around. Hopefully that's not too annoying. Then I'm going to choose one of these. These are shamanic healing cards. And when we're looking for something we don't know why, there might be something missing in our life or something that we need to be aware of, that we have something already that is very helpful and already for us around. So discernment and abundance, which is awesome. And then I'm going to pick some tarot cards. The Illuminated Tarot. What, for pile 1, do they need to know about? Oh, there it is. And this one, I think. Okay, the Devil and 6 of Pentacles. All right, pile 1. The spider in the passion flower, the person who chose, or the people who chose pile 1, and unsure about how to attain the love they're looking for. It is rooted, I believe, here. This is telling me they're starting over communication, wisdom. I think you are already a creative person. This spider in this lovely web, they've created this home, this perfect amalgam of intricate wisdom, creativity that they've created. And this spider is unable to attract anything into this web to catch it. I just realized that. Communication, roosters are very crowy. You know how they crow in the morning and they make that very loud noise? So I'm thinking that you've been doing things in a way that isn't working. Well, that's probably why you're here, and you're saying, of course it is, because I can't figure it out. And this snakes, they shed their skin through their lives, and it's a sign of healing, transformation. And the card is called Starting Over. And I am seeing that, not that you've been stuck, but you've been doing things in a way that you've always done. I'm getting a person who has old habits, maybe they're a little bit older, that maybe they did this when they were younger or before they got married. Maybe they're divorced, or maybe they've never met that right person. And this is telling me that you've been doing things in a way that needs to shift. This is instinctual. I mean, all animals are instinctual, but it looks to me like there needs to be a shift. And And it's all wonderful because the snake is a healing sign and it's transformative. So they're telling me that easily, or I shouldn't say easily, but it's quite possible you have a great opportunity now. The energy is good for you because you're open. You're open to this shift. And this, I'm going to use my feather if it is a little bit easier to see. The owl and hop. The owl is a, it has a different symbology through the Native American traditions that imply death and fear sometimes. But the owl is a beautiful animal. And I don't know if you notice this hop is in a circle. And the wisdom is circular. It's going round and round, and he's going through it. This is telling me that, yes, you do have this opportunity for transformation, and you just have to take a chance or go through the portal. And maybe it's from day to night, like instantly. You might just see something or read something and have a shift. You can also do some meditation or write in a journal or ask yourself, what can I do? What's the baby step I could take to maybe get out of my comfort zone? And maybe it's go online, or maybe it's look at people differently. Maybe you're assuming the certain type or character that you've always been attracted to is the right person, but it's possible that it is not, because look at this discernment. Discernment is telling you you need to be a little bit more, and not discernment meaning you might have all these opportunities, but it could be that you have different choices to make about yourself. You have all these skills or all these beautiful strengths. I think that's what I'm seeing. And here's your love. And all you can see maybe is them, and you're not looking at all this. So I would ask yourself, what is it that isn't working? You do the same thing over many times. It's the definition of insanity. So do different things. Say yes to things that you would never say yes to. Say no to things that you normally think, oh, that's absolutely the right thing to do. I mean, unless it's morally or unethical, of course. But that would be something I would work on, and ask yourself, how can I do things differently? Who am I not looking at? What is it that maybe I like bad boys or guys that have to have all the muscles, and look away from the guys that might have a big belly, or a lady who's got some extra pounds, or whatever that is. Look at them in a little different way. I think that's what this is saying. And abundance is right here. The owl is flying through to all this abundance. It's almost like this it's going. And then Six of Pentacles is also about abundance. You receiving, debts being paid, gratitude being available. And this, maybe that's what this is too, is about you being grateful for yourself, for your history, for all the things that you've been through, what you got you to this point, maybe the surviving mechanisms that you've used for the years, and perhaps they no longer work, or they're losing their impact for you. So it could be a time where you could seek therapy, or read some books, or listen to a meditation about releasing any and all unhealthy patterns and habits or thoughts that are keeping you stuck. But you have all this abundance available to you. And I even see him crowing really loudly. Now the devil is usually something, it's the version of human ego and human senses that we do, all the stuff related to the senses, like sex, love, but it goes into the extremes. So the devil he's here to tell you, you can get a little bit overboard maybe. The pendulum might swing a little bit too far. So beware that you're thinking about, like, I feel like it's very stable here and short, and then we get up here and it gets, so maybe there is some learning you're going to actually achieve here, and you're going to release and let go of some of the old patterns, but then you might jump in too quickly. Or you might get somebody that takes advantage of you, which would just be horrible because then you'd go back to here and not be able to trust very much. I would ask yourself, as still get out there and have faith. This whole thing is about having faith, listening to God within yourself. You are a light, a fraction of light. We're all one, and you have the ability to expand that light into the world. And a lot of times we just protect it because it's scary, or we've had experiences where we get hurt. But take your time, and you have all this ability. I'm seeing classes. There's nothing about classes here, but I'm feeling like it's getting together with people, maybe a meetup or a group of, I don't know, I hate to say speed dating. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but things where you're trying new things in a way, but just be wise. But I do think there's some releasing. There's some limitations in your mind that you've got to let go of. And I think that's what's holding you back from finding the love that you like. But it's all available. You just have to jump through that, go through that portal, go through that experience to make it happen. All right, pile 1, there you go. Okay, pile 2, you chose the hawk and thistle. And this reading is about how you can find the love that you're looking for or what you're unaware of. And I'm going to pull one more card from this deck, or two, excuse me, 3. And this one. And then this one right here. Yep. Okay. You maybe want to come out together. I had those last time, which is interesting. And then we have the shamanic healing. Looking for love. There's always room for adjustment and adapting to our experience. Trying to make sure I get focused here. I know that sometimes it can be a blurry. So pile 2. Oh, look at that. I saw the moon, and here's the moon and the sun again. Okay, and then I'm going to pull 2 of these tarot cards to help. High Priestess and Page of Swords. Okay, so the hawk and thistle. Pile 2, graceful persistence. I always think of thistles as being the very pointy and sticky, which they are, and the hawk is staying above them. So perhaps you are thinking that love is scary and you like to stay away from it because if you get too close, you'll get hurt. That is the first thing I'm seeing. I love these cards. The boar. Oh, that's interesting why I said that. The boar and pumpkins. Pumpkins are for harvest and fall. And it says confidence. So there could be a reason that you need to feel confident and let go of this fear. And there was an ending. The ending, I think, was something that hurt you. Look at his little face. It looks like a skull. But I see that was an ending, and you're stuck in the old. So those for number 2 pile, or the hawk pile, it is about trusting again. There's some deep pain that happened. And I know a moth doesn't bite you, but I saw these stripes like a bee, like you got stung. And you're staying in your safe place here. The rooster and sunflower, I got these in the last reading, so maybe if you read pile 1 too, as well. This is again with the circle, going through the portal, trusting, and this is communication. So it looks like you need to trust and talk and maybe reach out to people that you've been scared to, maybe I can't see those, that you've been scared to speak up. Maybe there's somebody you like. I don't know, maybe in a class or maybe at work or on the street or a neighbor. Perhaps it's somebody you just getting to know, and you're like, oh, let's go have coffee. And here's the rooster for the morning. Confidence, he eats all those pumpkins. He just gets in that garden and just goes crazy and wants to eat them. So imagine that boar just rushing through that garden and eating everything he wants to. Imagine a rooster crowing his brains out in the morning. You know how it is. And I think this is what it's about. It's for communicating and letting go and trusting again because of this hurt. Perception, and this card is yin and yang, black and white, top and bottom, up and down, you and me, all the polarity in the world. So this is telling me to examine your viewpoint because there's always an opposite. And perhaps you've got yourself in a little box by living in this non-trust, not having faith place. But it looks like you are ready to open up your mind because you're here, you're looking at this. So that tells me that you're ready to open up your mind. And below the surface is all this growth. So open your mind to look at the other perspective. And maybe it has to do with this and something about the anger from the past and the hurt. Not that you need to absolutely say, they're wonderful or perfect, but you can look at it from a different viewpoint. There's actually a viewpoint therapy that is wonderful. If you sit and you write down somebody's story from their viewpoint, as if you are them. You get in their body and you write it about them. I did this for my birth father because I really couldn't let go of a lot of stuff that had happened. And once I did that, I wrote, I don't know how many pages from his birth to childhood, and I knew some of the stories. And at the end, I was like, no wonder he couldn't do anything else the way he did. That was the only way he could live his life. And I immediately released that backpack of old shit that I held on to. So I would suggest doing something like that, viewpoint therapy, looking at the other person's. And then, I mentioned forgiveness, night, day, opposite again, opposites. So this is both related. Your perception about the past. You have choices. Sometimes we feel like we can't trust and we can't go out of our painful experience because it's going to happen again, or we don't know how to make it not happen again. But the fact is any day, any moment, you can make it change again. Every single day, every single second, the world, miracles happen every single moment. You allow God in your heart, you allow that faith, your angels and ancestors, ask them to release that burden and watch it go away from you. And I'm sorry, there's people outside. It gets too loud. And so, yes. And then the High Priestess and the Page of Swords are the last two. And this is telling me to do some research on yourself. It could be any sort of self-help book. But she's also a very spiritual lady that is a very, like a scorpionic kind of flavor, where deep psychological, in-depth recovery, releasing, letting go, understanding, a really compassionate understanding of what's within you that you've had in the past. And this is the beginning. This is a young person who's reaching out, and this is communication or thoughts or vision or ideas, and not being emotional. It's almost like fake it till you make it. That's the thing I get to. So this is all about perception, letting go of this pain. Something happened really bad. The other option is maybe you're putting too much into it. Maybe the thing that you're expecting or wanting you think is so fantastic, and you'll never, so you raise it up to such a large, high level of expectation that nothing could meet that standard. That might be the other thing too. There's a lot of pain and recovery that you can do in here, and I don't know whoever's watching this what your past is. But it looks like you need to yell from the rooftops and do some deep diving, do some self help. I mean, there's always been Brene Brown. There's always Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics, if that's an issue. Yeah, Al-Anon, or just therapy. Also doing some meditation for yourself and imagine and visualize asking Archangel Michael to cut the ties to that old way of thinking. It's miraculous, honestly. You just have to have faith. It's not always easy, but it's all available. So, number 2 pile, it looks like letting go of this old stuff, this history that you don't trust anymore. Look at things from a different perspective. Think clearly after you've dug some deep diving to evacuate this or release a lot of that. And asking for help from a spiritual perspective. Yeah. And it looks like a little bit of work. I'm not going to lie. But everything is possible. Okay? Love is available to you in pile number 2. Hello, this is for Antelope and Wheat, the 3rd pile. I am going to shuffle some more of these cards, pulling 3 of this deck, the Woodland Wardens, which I love. And this reading is for you, finding out what it is or why you can't find love, or what is it you don't know about your situation in your love. And I only have so much space, so the Skunk and Magnolia. Oh, let's go here. Get a little closer to Buddha. Quail and Gooseberry. Pretty card. And the Horse and the Bluebell. So we've got 3 mammals and a bird. Now we're going to pick shamanic healing. Healing is usually something, well, we can all heal in one way, shape, or form, but this is for you, Antelope. Inner journey and reunion of souls. Okay. And then now 2 tarot cards. What about Antelope? Do they need to know? Okay. Okay, give me a second here. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Antelope and Wheat. A lot of these cards have this circular formation. I feel like it's very abundant. So this isn't a card of someone who feels neglected necessarily. They just want to know how. It's part of it. Or you see other people having these relationships and you can't for whatever reason. It also tells, because it's above protection, this is somebody who's protecting themselves. It's a different perspective where you are not able to see what you deserve or how your strengths are, how much strengths you have. And wheat is it's an abundant thing. You know, wheat feeds the world, and rice, obviously, and other things, but it's an abundance. So I'm seeing that you are not actually seeing this amazing abundance around you. And maybe it's a lack of self-confidence. So you're protecting yourself and you're quiet. You know, the skunk sprays people if anybody gets near him. So maybe that's you. Not that you get sprayed, but you are the one protecting yourself. Maybe it's you're shy. That's the thing I'm getting too, is you're very shy and you're not aware of your great attributes. And you see everybody else maybe is getting all these things because they're perfect, or they have the perfect body, or they have the life, or the job, or they just have the nice car, whatever it is, and you don't have that. So you're not really able to get the person you love because you think you need those things. But in reality, you have all of this. You need to be grateful. That's what I'm saying. grateful, and you have so much. And you're going to have to uncover some of this protection. Okay, goose. Here's a quail. Quails are wonderful. We have quails in Arizona, and they have like 12 babies at a time, and they're so adorable, and they run across, and they're very jittery. They're always flying and flicking around and protecting themselves. Gooseberries. Gooseberries are delicious too. But do you see this netting? I'm sure it's just the way the artist drew it, and they're supposed to be feathers. But to me, I'm seeing netting, another way of protecting yourself. Your heart is here, and there's protection. So, unable to remove this armor. Yeah. And then modest fortitude. And they're telling you, the spirit is telling you that you're this giant, if you can imagine a horse, compared to all these big things, you are amazing. You are amazing. And seeing yourself as amazing and strong and virile and tall and what's another word for strong? Muscular and just mammoth. And people need you, and they look at you like this, and maybe you're seeing this. Although antelopes are beautiful, they're all beautiful. But I'm thinking you're not seeing your beauty, or you're not your things you can offer to somebody, because you live in abundance. You're really, and so this at the point where I would suggest you writing down all the things you've done that are really give yourself credit for your strengths, all the things you fought through, all the stuff that you confronted in your life, a fear, or talking to somebody, or learning a skill, or being at school or at work and having to run a meeting, or going to greet people that you didn't really think you were nervous about. I want you to make a list of all the things that you think that you've done as a strength, that you can give yourself credit for. Or maybe it's even getting a degree, or whatever that is. Give yourself credit, and even delve deep into that, all the different little bits of that. Because I think once you do that, you're going to see yourself as this massive, dedicated to yourself being who can charge and, show off, basically. But it says modest fortitude. I guess they're saying just modestly. Yeah. An inner journey. This is about this. I'm seeing this 4-part process: mind, body, spirit or soul, and emotion. All of those things, mind, body, emotion, spirit, all are part of the greater whole. And this is for you to examine and see your strengths. But I don't see I'm not saying you have a tough time I'm just saying you just have to see yourself as really awesome, that you're a little bit shy, and you're not seeing your qualities, your immense wonderful qualities that you have. Now, these are all reunion of the souls. You can see this bird. This is you looking at all these different things about yourself that are awesome. I'll lift this up. I don't know if you can see it down there. You can see all the things that you're awesome. This is you. And look, here he comes, or she. Because they're attracted to confidence. People are attracted to confidence, whether, if you're a woman, men, there's a thing where men like to be in control, or they like to feel like they're in charge. But maybe, women are confident, and men love a confident woman. Doesn't mean she has to be a bitch or anything, just confidence, and know who you are and stand proud. And guys really are attracted to that. So all this inner journey, and then this pride, this stud or steed. And I think that's going to get you to this Knight of Pentacles. Here's another. Knight of Pentacles is slow and prodding change, about something of value, security, money, earthy things, real estate, gifts, cars, whatever those things are, banking. but things of value. And he is aiming this way. He is looking at you. And I can see this is, it just takes a little bit for you to just break out of your shell. And you're going to have this opportunity to meet somebody. Could be a woman, could be a man. She kind of looks like either way. There's actually a ponytail I never noticed before. So it could be a female, but there's action to be taken. They're coming for you. This is awesome. And and that's when you come through this, right? And if you're, and this is anticipation, which I just realized. Three of Wands is somebody you're waiting. You can see the landscape, and this is after you've discovered what your strengths are, what your inner journey, and how you're going to proceed in a higher level about yourself and more confident. You know, this is you. This is somebody who's already had the idea, created a partnership, and now they're building this enterprise, and they're looking over the landscape, deciding how they're going to move forward or expand into the world. So here's the two people. This is the third idea or partnership idea. So I am super excited for pile 3 because I feel like you have just a little bit of a hurdle. And this is all something you can just do by yourself at home, or do some self-confidence meditations, or ask Archangel Michael to cut the cord to your, anxiety or indecision or lack of confidence or self-esteem, and ask them to give it to you in a dream, what you need to do, how you need to, receive, because it's all there. Look at yourself as very powerful because you are pile 3, and you have this opportunity and lots of love. And this guy's stable and good. He's not a fly-by-night person. That's awesome. Or a fly-by-night woman. Maybe you work together. Maybe you'll work together in a business or something. And this is somebody from work. I'm picturing somebody who flips houses or does something like that. That might be, not that you have to do that, but something real stable and slow and mature and good. All right, pile 3. Let me know how it goes. Share your comments in the comment section. I'd love to know if this was resonating with you or how it comes out.